Hey, what's going on guys? Nick here, bringing you a Titanfall tips and tricks video, and today we're going to be going over something very important. Today we're going to be looking at the crucial and important facts of the Titan Legion. Now, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to be a very good Legion player. Make sure you're a helpful contributive member to the team using this Titan. Because this Titan can be a little complicated to use. I know there are people out there, some YouTubers, who say that Legion just doesn't fit their playstyle, and if you're looking to use Legion, I can teach you some very important tips. As you can see, I am a Legion Generation 6.14, so I have a fairly large amount of experience under my buckle in regards to this Titan, so let's get right into this. Alright, so just like any Titan, Legion has universal kits shared by everyone else, and he also has kits specific to him and custom to how he plays. And so we're going to be analyzing which kits you should use to help your play with him, and so you can help rack up those kills and keep your teammates alive. Alright, so for the first Titan kit, I would like to go over Turbo Dash. This allows Legion to dash further. Personally, I really like this because, in case you don't know, Legion is a very slow Titan. He's a big bumbling buffoon who will trip over pretty much anything probably. He's very slow, and this really helps out. It really helps with the tips that I'm going to teach you later on in this video. So highly recommended turbo engine. Alright, so say moving fast and fast-paced Titan play really isn't your style, then next would be Overcore. This is mostly for players who just have trouble getting their core, and what it does is it starts you off at 30% core build. This has got to be a second if turbo didn't exist. So basically, Overcore, you're going to have a very good advantage over the enemy team because you're going to be using your core first, basically, and that's going to be very important. That's going to mean the world in Titan versus Titan. Alright, so we're going to be going over the other ones, like the extra smoke and the stealth auto effect. I'm not going to lie, you're really not going to need the stealth auto eject, but the extra cloud of smoke, that would be good. Assault chip, you're not really going to need that either, because if you leave your Titan out in the open, chances are you're not really someone who cares about kills. And nuclear ejection, oh my god, you do not need this at all. Trust me, you do not. Like I said, Legion is a big bumbling buffoon, and the odds of you catching someone with this is very unlikely. It's possible, I've done it before, but again, it's unlikely. You would never need this ever. So turbo engine and Overcore are highly recommended. Alright, so now that we're done with that, let's get into the Legion specific kits. Alright, so for enhanced ammo capacity is basically for Legion players who like to lay back, basically people who like to play supportive roles, and that's basically what enhanced ammo capacity is for. Recommended for people who like to play like that. Alright, so for sensor array just basically increases your smart core. Not gonna lie, you're not gonna need this because smart core is only used for one-on-one encounters. That's what you're only gonna need it for. And sensor array would only be helpful if you're taking on multiple Titans, are in an open area, and you have the juke on them, the advantage, which is a highly unlikely situation. So that's basically it. Sensor array really is not recommended for this Titan. Alright, Bulwark. This is actually a really helpful kit. This basically just increases your gun shield strength. Really helpful for people who tend to get themselves in situations that really can't be fixed, well, can't be handled alone. So Bulwark, really good. This would be my second if Hidden Compartment didn't exist. So yeah, it's actually a really good kit. Alright, so lightweight alloys, that just basically means your Titan moves faster when the Predator cannon is spun up, because Legion moves really slow when the Predator cannon, when you're aiming down sights. So that's just what this is for. And so for my most recommended Legion kit would be Hidden Compartment. This allows 2 power shots. This power shot is really strong alone, but with 2 of them, you could take down like Scorch's health completely in just seconds. You will tear up Titans like they're pilots. I cannot recommend this enough because this is going to be needed for close quarters encounters. And it also has a long range mode, which is also really good. But again, the close quarters encounters of the power shot, twice, it's just unstoppable. You're going to be chewing apart those Titans like they're made of human flesh. It's really, really helpful. Alright, so now that we've gone over the Titan kits and who they're recommended for, what playstyle you like, we're gonna get into the actual gameplay, and I can show you some of my tips, things that I like to do to help keep my Legion alive and other people's Titans alive, while making sure the enemy team isn't alive. So let's get right into this. Alright, so here we are on Last Titan Standing. This is a team full of Legions. This was actually a really good game. This was a perfect win. 3 wins, 0 loses, no deaths on my end. So that was really cool. So for our first tip, I'm going to just state this right now. Do not ever let yourself get a battery as this Titan. You're playing as one of the strongest Titans in the game, and the last thing you are going to need is a battery. So let your other Titans team members pick up the batteries themselves, so they themselves can have more health. So yeah, that's really important. Alright, so for this next tip, make sure you always spin the Predator Cannon up before you look around the corner. As you can see, I was able to shoot at him, that Titan, just as he came around the corner, because my Predator Cannon was already spun up. It does take a while for this thing to get ready to fire. So this is a really, really important method whenever you're looking around any corner, whenever you suspect enemies are near you. This is really, really good. I really like this because it really helps me get the advantage over a Titans, because you're going to need it since you are a really slow Titan. So yeah, that's really good. Okay, so another thing you're supposed to do as Legion is to make sure you have a good idea of your surroundings. So for this part of the gameplay, you'll notice how I'm analyzing the area, but there aren't really any Titans. I'm just analyzing the area, making sure that there's a safe place, and so that way I know where not to look for Titans. And this is a really good idea, so that way, because as Legion, it's very easy for you to get cornered, because Titans can out-move you, outsmart you. It's gonna happen a lot, so make sure you know your surroundings. Also, you'll notice another thing. You'll notice how I'm constantly switching modes. Make sure you always switch modes whenever you're within close quarters, and switch modes whenever you're in a large open area. It doesn't matter. So where the Titans are relative to you, always make sure you're using close range mode in close quarters, and long range mode when you're in large open fields. That's really, really important. You'll notice how when I was analyzing that field in the beginning of this clip, I was in long range mode because it's an effective tactic, so make sure you do that. Okay, so say you're someone who works well with others. Another tactic I would highly recommend is if you stick close to others, but, well, obviously, yeah, but a Titan in particular that you should really stay near is Tone, because there are a couple things that Tone can do to Legion that can easily counter a Legion, and if you stick near Tones, well, the Tone will be able to counter another Tone, and you'll be able to back up their Titan. So I highly recommend you stick with that Titan, that specific Titan chassis, if you're someone who likes to work well with others. And yeah, that's it. Alright, so that last gameplay I brought to you was a perfect win. Now this is gameplay featuring a perfect lose. We lost all these rounds because, as you can see, there's only 3 people on my team versus 5. But yeah, let's see how well I managed to do. Okay, so here we have me and the Scorch are taking on like 3 other Titans. So as you can see, I'm in long range mode, and make sure you really take advantage of that power shot. Notice how I was able to take down half of that North Star's health in like just a couple of seconds. And now I'm using the Smart Core, but the thing about, well, I'm currently going up against an Ion right now, and what you need to do is you need to anticipate the Ion shield. But yeah, it's really hard to do, I get it. And notice how I used my Smart Core when all the enemies are immune. If you ever have a Smart Core available and all the enemies, well, a lot of enemies are immune, just use that Smart Core because it's really going to help. Alright, so just a second ago I was talking about anticipating Ion's reflective shield. And so basically what that means is you won't wait till it's red, and then once it turns red, wait like half a second, then spin up your power shot, and then by the time the power shot leaves the cannon, supposedly Ion's shield will be down, and you'll take down a lot of Ion's health. Like what I just did there, I tried timing it, but I was not able to get it in time, and then I ended up blowing up. But yeah, that's basically what I mean by Ion. Try to anticipate Ion's shield. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is ducking behind cover. Obviously, you want to get behind cover when you're reloading, as you can see as I just did. This would be really helpful when you have the dash, turbo dash on. I like to call it turbo dash. As I just did, I was taking a fairly large amount of damage, and I was able to strafe away to the side and take less damage. And so that's really important, because if I had been running, that's just more damage I would have taken by Ion. And also notice how I double power shot Titans. Do not ever distribute power shots. Always save your 2 power shots if you have ink department on 1 Titan, because you really want to kill 1 Titan as fast as possible, because that's just one less Titan on the battlefield. So try to focus. Yeah, if there's ever multiple Titans within your field of view, if you don't have your Smart Core available, just focus on 1 Titan. Just focus on 1 Titan. That's what I always do. Alright, that's about it for the tips and tricks video. I hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And I hope you all enjoyed this one last clip I have for you.